Damn. What? So this is my EPIK 2 video. Just to update on where I am in my process. I am basically done with the application process. Only thing I'm waiting on literally in the mail are my second reference letter, my hard copy, and my diploma, my master's degree diploma apostille, and my background check I'm waiting for that too. Anyway, so I am at that point. So this video is kind of an update so that people know. Now, mind you, this is my second time going through the EPIK process. The first time I went through a year ago, I was in China, and so a lot of my documents just took too long, and so I just barely missed the deadline for my background check, which was the only thing I was waiting for. So since last year, they have changed a couple of things. With EPIK, the application is different, but I think they update that every year. And then there is the issue, there is reference letters. There are reference letters. If you have teaching experience and you have a teaching experience letter, that is now its own separate reference letter. It's no longer something that can be used as a basic reference letter. You have to have two reference letters that are from an academic source, employment source, most recent employment source, or an ESL class source. So it has to be from one of those three places to be counted as your two basic ones. If you have a teaching experience one, that is its own category now. It's no longer considered a regular reference letter. And it has to be dated for after you are finished. And so even if you are right now in the midst of a 1 year teaching experience or 2 years teaching experience, and you do need that reference letter, and they can put the current date, but then you need to have them redo it. Just change the date, print it out again, and sign it again with that blue ink. And all of your reference letters, your work experience, education, ESL, teaching experience, all of them have to be signed in blue ink by that person. And you need electronic scan copy, and you need a hard copy. And I would suggest that you print out a copy of that too. Scan it, copy it, take a picture, have an extra copy of it somewhere. And then for people who are coming from America, know that the FBI has changed their policy to where they're no longer accepting applications that are mailed off with return labeling or express labeling. They don't do that anymore. Everybody is now on the same time frame unless you use the one channeler that can get you apostilled. And so just be aware of that. Know that that's the only way you're going to get your things faster is if you use the one channeler. Mind you, this is February that I was doing my application, and I sent my stuff in, and so I didn't bother. I didn't feel like I needed to pay the extra money to use the channeler because I had plenty of time. And you don't need that to be accepted into a program. You also need background check, an FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations, criminal background record /check. So that is $18. It's really not too expensive. You do have to pay another $18 if you want it. If you want more than one. Like I said, they don't accept express labeling or return labeling anymore, and they just might send it back to you. You also do not necessarily need to add that extra letter anymore. You should just to make sure, but as of 2 years ago, as of 2013, they officially started notarizing all of the background checks automatically, because I know that's what a lot of people recommend that you have a note in there saying that you need it notarized so that you can get it apostilled for South Korea or for wherever else you may be going. But I guess because they're getting such an influx of that's become a major thing now, and so they have officially started notarizing all of their background checks automatically. So I wouldn't worry too much about that if you forgot, like I did. And so I will definitely let you know if mine comes back unnotarized, because I called up there and told them that I needed notarized and I didn't put a letter or a note in there. And she said, you don't need those anymore. What you do need is your application And in your application, you're going to need, and you're going to do an essay, and you're going to be completing a lesson plan. And if you have attachments for your lesson plan, like I wouldn't recommend doing a whole PPT for it because you can't attach it physically you cannot copy and paste it into your application and still be under the page limit. And so be aware of that. I did have a worksheet, but it's one page, and so, well, 2 pages is the front and the back. And it cannot be longer, the entire lesson plan with attachments cannot be longer than 5 pages long. So you do need a 4-year degree to go through most of the programs. There is TALK, T-A-L-K. You can go through that if you don't have it, but even with that, you still have to have some sort of college records. That's not the right word. Credits. You need like something that represents 2 years in college to be able to go through the TALK program as well. You will need, so for your 4-year degree, you need to get it notarized and apostilled, and it has to be in the same state. And so you can use the state. So for my undergrad diploma, my school notarized it and they sent it off to get it apostilled for me in Iowa. Mind you, I was not in Iowa, I was in China. And so they did it for me, and they so I can't remember exactly how they did that, but I do still have the email. So if you want to ask me personally, you can send me a inbox or put a comment below, and then I will make sure that I answer that question directly. But it has to be notarized and apostilled in the same state. And you have to do the same thing if you have more than one. If you have 2 4-year degrees, then you really only need one. Go with the one that's most applicable to education. But I have a BA and I have an MA, and so you have to get both of them. So if you have an undergrad and a graduate degree, you have to get both of them apostilled, and you need 2 official sealed transcripts for both of them. When you receive them, do not open them. If you want to look at it, then you need to either check online if you still have that access, or you need to have them send you 3, not 2, so that you can open one of them and see it for yourself. But they do have, because they have to be sealed. So if you're using a recruiter, then you need to take a picture of the sealed side and then flip it over and take a picture of the other side and tell them these are your transcripts. They accept that because they don't want you to open them, because then they're no longer officially sealed transcripts. Right? Your application. For your application, you will need a photo. It needs to be a passport style photo that's professional looking. So wear collar shirt, just throw it on or something. Literally, that's what I just did. I just took mine because he didn't like my old one that I used last year. He wanted something more updated. And then I sent another one and he didn't like that. And so I'm taking it again so that I can copy paste it into my application. Your essay, so with your essay, make sure that you are giving an answer that directly answers the question. Don't leave it open for interpretation, I guess you could say. So try to be as direct and clear as possible. And also remember, they are going to be checking you for grammar because you're going to be teaching their kids. And so I wouldn't say go as far as to get a editor. It's not that serious, but just make sure you yourself are going through it and checking it out. My hair is getting on my nerves. And checking it out yourself and make sure you go through and edit anything. And for recruiters, I would personally recommend Corvia or Reach to Teach, or I think it's Barefoot Prints. Those would be the main 3 that I've heard of. I'm personally using Reach to Teach, and I like Reach to Teach. They work with me. They work well for me. If I had known about Corvia first, I probably would have went with Corvia though. Most of the people that I know have gone through Corvia, but and they have very good things to say about them. Especially, they still take care of you after you get there, and so they don't just kind of say, "Oh, you're good," and then they leave you at that. They still do a little bit more for you there, but I will definitely let you know how it goes for me once I do get there. I try to keep updating about my EPIK process for people who do care to know, so that I can be sure to update people on EPIK, on the Reach to Teach, because like I said, I didn't really find any. I don't really know anybody who's gone through Reach to Teach, but I do know that it is a recognized program. But the reason I knew about Reach to Teach first, because I was teaching in China when I started applying, and they work a lot with Southern Asia, so like South Korea. So China and Taiwan are their main, especially Taiwan. Taiwan is actually their base, and so just be aware of that. Korea, their base is South Korea, and so that's why they are a little bit more better in that sense as far as after you get there. While Reach to Teach is better. If you know you're gonna want to move out of South Korea and go to another Asian country, I would probably recommend Reach to Teach over Korea. But like I said, I'll let you know how it goes for me once I actually arrive in South Korea. So that is my EPIK update.